When General Zia-ul-Haq took control of Pakistan in 1977, the country's foreign policy soon revolved around one defining event: the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979. This became what many called the Afghan miracle. For the first time, Pakistan stood at the center of global politics. Zia quickly aligned with the United States and its allies, presenting Pakistan as the frontline state of the Cold War. The benefits were immediate and visible. Billions of dollars in American and Saudi aid started flowing into Pakistan. The armed forces were modernized with advanced weapons like F-16s and Stinger missiles. The economy was supported by remittances from overseas workers. Most importantly, Pakistan's secret nuclear program continued without much foreign pressure. For Zia, this was a diplomatic triumph. Pakistan was treated as an indispensable ally, and Zia himself gained international recognition. But this Afghan involvement came with serious consequences. Pakistan became home to more than 3 million Afghan refugees. Initially welcomed, they soon placed a heavy burden on resources like food, housing, and jobs. Alongside the refugees came an influx of drugs and weapons, creating what is remembered as the Kalashnikov culture. Militancy and sectarian violence began to take root, problems that Pakistan would struggle with for decades after. What looked like a miracle in the short run planted the seeds of instability for the future. The turning point came with the Geneva Accord of April 1988. This agreement was signed between Afghanistan and Pakistan, with the United States and Soviet Union as guarantors. Its purpose was to bring peace to Afghanistan by ensuring the withdrawal of Soviet troops. On paper, it was a great diplomatic victory. The Soviets agreed to leave Afghanistan after nearly a decade of occupation. But in reality, it did not create a clear power-sharing formula for Afghanistan once the Soviets departed, leaving Pakistan exposed to instability on its western border. And here lay the conflict between Zia and his Prime Minister, Muhammad Khan Junejo. Junejo was eager to restore civilian authority and wanted Pakistan to fully endorse the Geneva Accord, believing it was the best way to end the war and normalize international relations. Zia, however, was skeptical. He believed the accord was signed too hastily, without ensuring Pakistan's long-term security or the future of the Afghan Mujahideen. This disagreement deepened the rift between the two leaders. Relations with India during Zia's rule were also complicated. The greatest setback came in 1984 with the Siachen debacle, when Indian troops captured the glacier before Pakistan could act. This exposed Pakistan's strategic vulnerability in Kashmir. In 1987, India wanted to attack Pakistan in the cover of military exercises held in Rajasthan. Zia managed to avoid a full-scale war through his tactic of cricket diplomacy, where he traveled to India to watch a cricket match and warned Rajiv Gandhi and gave him a nuclear threat, making Rajiv Gandhi cancelling his plan for a war. Zia's relationship with China was one of stability and trust. The construction of the Karakoram Highway became a landmark achievement. This highway symbolized not only connectivity, but also the long-term friendship and cooperation that Pakistan could always rely on. However, one of the biggest problems of Zia's foreign policy was dependency. Pakistan's economy during his rule grew, but it leaned heavily on foreign aid and loans. The aid linked to the Afghan War made Pakistan's growth fragile. Once the Cold War ended and the US lost interest, Pakistan was left struggling with the aftermath. Millions of refugees, rising extremism, drug trafficking, and an economy no longer supported by Western funds.